Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Panel Pals, the comic book podcast for thinkers. We're your hosts, Jack Stewartson.
And Diane Hitchings.
Diane, we're officially in spring. Spring has sprung, knock on wood. I would knock on wood, but it'll script the recording. How are you doing?
You say, oh, spring has officially sprung. Yeah, get wrecked. It's been spring here for months. Some of our flowers are done flowering.
Oh, lucky you.
Sorry, I won't brag too much, but yes. Apparently, I was told that it was going to be like plus 16 in Edmonton today.
Oh, it was like plus
something.
19 today. I got
sick.
I got sun-kissed today.
Oh, wow. I've been good enough with wearing sunscreen that I have yet to accidentally get a watch tan, so.
Nice.
Yeah, but yes. Weather is nice, which means it's way easier to be in a good mood all the time.
Yes, truly. As we're recording, last weekend was local bookstore weekend or weekday or day. Did you do anything for that?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I probably went to a bookstore last week. Yeah, probably last weekend when I was downtown. I would have gone and looked up some comic shops. Forgot it was a thing, though. Oops.
That's okay. That's good enough. Even if you forgot, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Did you do retail therapy? I did a little retail therapy.
I mean, I always do. Well, it depends. Like, sometimes you find some good stuff at Value Village. Sometimes you end up spending $50 or $80 or $100 at Chapters because oopsie. You know. What did you buy?
I found... So at We Book In, we've mentioned them on the show before, I found a collection of... It's the first volume of Strangers in Paradise, which is like late 80s, early 90s, black and white, self-published, kind of slice of life, kind of espionage comic that's been on my list for a long time, and it was $5, so I was like, I'll get that.
Yeah, we love it when it's cheap at the We Book In.
And then I had something waiting for me at Variant Edition. We've also mentioned them on the show. I had the new Young Shadow, which is a Fantagraphics sort of superhero-y, sort of cyberpunk-y, self-published book. This volume is about Young Shadow and his gang of kid friends, kid sidekicks. They play baseball against skeletons, so it's also very fun.
Amazing. Have you had a chance to read both of your purchases yet, or has real life gotten in the way?
I've read The Young Shadow. It's very good. I've not read Strangers in Paradise. I might save that actually for the show at some point.
Ooh,
yeah,
exciting.
We'll see.
Nice.
What about you? Did you pick up anything fun or exciting? Backy?
No, not yet. That's next week's purchase time. No, the last thing I got was a volume of a series called Dogs Red, which we will talk about on the show at some point. It is a sports manga about hockey by one of my favorite mangaka, and hockey's my favorite sport. So I'm like, it's literally created specifically for me, and it's great.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's really good. The comedy is amazing. I really hope that it is teaching at least one person out there what the rules of hockey are, because it's really it's great. But we'll talk about it sometime. I'm just gonna wait till a bit more of it comes out, because I have the first 5 volumes, and I want it to be a little bit farther into the story before we talk about it. But yeah. We'll get there.
They go in depth in the rules of icing versus offside. I'd read that.
You're in like 4 volumes in, and then they're like, oh wait, why is this happening? They explain what icing is, and you're like, oh right, not everybody reading this has played hockey their entire life. Gotcha. Because I know what's happening. I know what all the silly little rules are. Speaking of hockey, rip to the Oilers, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, I was going to say, now my hockey season watching is over. Although my second favorite team is the Ducks, so I can't be that mad.
Yeah, my second favorite team is the Oilers. My favorite is the Canucks, which, was the worst team of the league this year. So, you know what? Great year to be me for hockey.
Great year to be a Canadian watching hockey.
Yeah. Sucks.
Shall we gander into our topic today, our main focus?
Yes, I was in a great mood today because I knew that after work we're going to come home and record this podcast, and I was so excited to talk about this. So, yeah, been in a great mood all day.
I'm going to lean heavily on you for some of this, so I hope you don't mind.
Okay.
I did write way too much, as usual, so without further ado, I'll get into that.
Yeah.
Rain in Hell. In the closing scene of the 2017 sci-fi film Blade Runner 2049, its lead character, Joe, aka KD6-3.7, limps down to sit on the cold concrete steps
of the
Steeline laboratory lobby. Fat snowflakes lightly dance around him as he examines the gushing wound in his flank. His injury is a result of the successful rescue of Rick Deckard, his blade-running predecessor, and the man he mistakenly believed to be his father, from the clutches of the domineering Wallace Corporation. Both men were once tasked with killing or retiring renegade synthetic workers known as replicants. However, just as Deckard had lost his edge after falling in love with one of his targets, so too now has Joe. Inside the lab, Deckard is meeting his daughter for the first time, Dr. Anna Stelline, the secret product of the first natural replicant birth, hidden away from the world for her own protection. The film has been building to this moment through its weaving conspiracy and ambiguous character dynamics, as the line between authenticity and the artificial becomes increasingly blurred. At this point, Joe has lost everything: his job, his purpose, his admittedly simulated romantic partner, but mostly his sense of identity. To this point, his entire life, however short it may have been as a Nexus 9 model replicant himself, has been marked with questions, discrimination, and violence. But as he lies back to feel the falling snow on the razor's edge of death, he also experiences for the first time what it's like to be truly real. Despite everything stacked up against him, in a bleak dystopia scarred by class exploitation, where violence is a tool used to maintain the oppressed, Joe manages for a brief moment to break his conditioning, saving the one person in his world who had saved another. Joe discovers individuality and in turn uses that individuality to better serve his fellow man. It's a specific emotional beat, having a character reach actualization through altruism, only to slip away into a quiet nothing, like tears in rain. Denis Villeneuve's approach to the Blade Runner universe was meant to be complementary. The French-Canadian director had mentioned the 1982 original as being an influence on his dramatic work, which put him on rights holders Alcon Entertainment's shortlist to develop a Blade Runner sequel after its original director, Ridley Scott, dropped out. Villeneuve was hesitant to accept the positioning, mentioning in an interview with Deadline, "I read the screenplay several times, I loved it so much, but I didn't want to have this burden on my shoulders. It was a very risky project. I was saying to myself that I needed to find inside me all the technical skills. Everybody might hate me for doing this. But because of the power of the story, I felt moved and decided to say yes." However, despite Villeneuve's best efforts to reconstruct the original work, from the production's commitment to practical sets, props, and stunts, to maintaining the ambiguity of Deckard's origins from the original, at every turn the film appears to subvert the original. From a cinematic standpoint, Roger Deakins uses a much sharper focus than Jordan Cronenweth's softer lens. Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wellfish's score is much more ambient in comparison to Vangelis's lush sax and synths in the original. The design of the world has become more brutalist rather than the deco-inspired look of the future of 2015. Joe, rather than a human who begins to question his humanity, is an android who doubts his artificiality. He begins the story comfortably dulled from the world outside him via his holographic girlfriend, but only through her loss does he understand his true place in his nihilistic circumstance. A complete reversal of Deckard's world weariness to romantic arc. Even the ending, wherein Joe silently accepts the cost of authenticity, is a cracked mirror reflection of Blade Runner antagonist Roy Batty's improvised monologue, wherein he accepts the cruel beauty of mortality. It's this complex relationship with authenticity that puts the punk in cyberpunk. One of, if not the first, pioneers of the subgenre, Blade Runner and its sequel are constantly interrogating what it means to be real in a macro-simulated society. It pushes noir and neo-noir influences into a sci-fi framework to interrogate the transhuman condition. Blade Runner's influence can be felt not only on its sequel, but on a vast number of sci-fi anime and manga that have come in its stead. But it's how both films link and repulse recall today's subject and its relation to its source material. The project that would become Pluto, full title Urasawa Cross Tezuka, was conceived when manga artist Naoki Urasawa was anticipating the birthday of the fictional Atom. Known in the West as Astroboy, Mighty Atom is a long-running sci-fi manga by legendary creator Osamu Tezuka, running from 1952 to 1968 in Shonen magazine. Set in the then-distant future of 2003, when Head Ministry of Science Dr. Umataro Tenma's son Tobio is killed in a motor accident. The Mad Doctor builds an advanced and powerful robot designed as a carbon copy of his late child. Dubbed Adam, the 100,000 horsepower boy goes on many adventures, bridging the worlds of man and machine for the betterment of the world. One memorable adventure sees Adam and a collection of 6 of the strongest robots in the world confronted by Pluto, a behemoth of a bot built for the unfortunately named Sultan Chochi Chochi Abba III by the mysterious Dr. Abdullah to destroy them all. While Pluto makes a fearsome foe, going so far as to decimate all but Adam, a glimpse of humanity peeks through his demonic exterior, as he befriends Adam's sister, Uran. He fights honorably, only attacking his targets when they are ready and even avoiding collateral damage. In a bit of desperation, Dr. Tenma upgrades Adam to a 1 million horsepower system, causing a bout of brief insanity. The two bots have a last confrontation before it's revealed that Pluto's creator, a masked scientist called Gochi, had been posing as Dr. Abdullah to gain favor with his old master Ababa, and had made one more robot even more powerful than Pluto, Bora. Pluto sacrifices himself to defeat the giant, leaving Adam and company to ponder if there can be a world where robots will no longer need to fight one another. The Greatest Robot in the World arc proved to be popular and marked a tone shift in the plotting of the Astroboy series. Tezuka was becoming increasingly aware of the popularity of rival sci-fi boys manga like Tetsujin 28 Go, and made the intentional decision to add more action and violence into the strip. It's a combination of this and the bittersweet tone of the arc which caught the imagination of young Urasawa. Known in the West for his twisted, morally ambiguous psychological dramas like Monster and 20th Century Boys, Urasawa grew up tracing Tezuka's comics as a child. In an interview together with Makoto Tezuka, Tezuka's son, for Big Comic Original, translated in English and reprinted in the first volume of the 2019 Viz printing, Urasawa states, "On rereading The Greatest Robot on Earth, I felt that there were scenes missing and also that some scenes were different than I remember. Over the years, I guess I'd actually fleshed out my own version of the story in my head." Urasawa approached the Tezuka estate for a large-scale retelling of his favorite arc. Together with his writing partner/editor, Takashi Nagasaki, Pluto was serialized over 65 chapters in Big Comic Original from 2003 to 2009. The pair worked on the series in tandem with 20th Century Boys, probably explaining its extended release period. It was translated and released in English-speaking territories by Viz in 2004 over 8 tankobon volumes. Pluto, in its essence, is an expansion and reframing of the Tezuka original. Rather than following Adam, it shifts focus on robot detective Gesite, Gerhardt in the original Dark Horse translation of Astro Boy, of Europol, as he investigates a string of mysterious killings of prominent robotic scientists and robot veterans of the 39th Central Asian War. Simultaneously, gaps in his memory systems begin to arise, suggesting a larger conspiracy at play. Urasawa redesigns Tezuka's world and its characters to fit a more grounded milieu, and the expanded scope of the book allows for far more interiority in its characters. It serves as a reappraisal of Tezuka's work, advancing the spirit and themes of the original text while updating it for the 21st century. It is equally critically acclaimed, and has even proved more popular than Blade Runner 2049, being adapted into a stage play and a Netflix original anime series in 2023. But why are we talking about Pluto in a sub-series about Watchmen? On its face, this 2003 black and white homage manga has little to do with the 1986 superhero book. Neither Urasawa nor Nagasaki have ever publicly spoken on Moore or Gibbons or their work. However, a quick internet search brings up at least 9 results comparing Watchmen and Pluto in content. Pluto's reformatting of Tezuka into a murder mystery gives room for deeper universe and character exploration, just as Moore and Gibbons did with the Charlton characters. Both works refer back to a war in the past whose outcome shaped the public perception of its core cast. Pluto's apocalyptic transhumanist elements recall Dr. Manhattan's own inner conflict. The book uses a standardized grid of sorts, 3 rows of panels wherein the first and last panels usually extend past the top and bottom of the page. But it's the way each work addresses their subject matter that draws the most comparison and contrast. Both works were always meant to subvert their source material, but whereas Watchmen was always meant to deconstruct, Pluto was made as an apotheosis of Tezuka's work. Does it succeed in doing this? Does Gesite, Adam, and even Tenma's complex interiority build on Tezuka's work, or is this a case, like Blade Runner 2049, wherein the intention to mend actually subverts the original. He is applying the allegorical war in Persia, a direct shout-out to the then contemporary, still contemporary, war on terror in the Middle East, kills some of the aspirational fantasy of Tezuka's world. Does Urasawa's notions towards cyberpunk themes and aesthetics harshen Astroboy's glow? Here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built. Here for his envy will not drive us hence. Here we may reign secure, and in my choice, to reign is worth ambition, though in hell. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. John Milton. Diane, what did you think of Pluto?
I really liked it.
Yeah, it's good, hey?
Have you read any of Urasawa's work before?
I've read only the very slimmest bit of Monster. Like, I've read maybe the first Tankobon of Monster, which is amazing. It's a brilliant graphic novel on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like a long time ago I read Monster and 20th Century Boys. Big fans. So, Pluto has been on my, reading list for a long time. I just never got around to it, so I was very excited that we were gonna do it. So I'm like, good, finally, I'll read it. I had no idea it was, a redo of a Tezuka work, or Astro Boy, specifically. That was a surprise. I was like, huh? Really? Okay. Yeah. I didn't expect that. I was also like, wait, did he get permission to do this? Wait, did they do it together? No, Tezuka was definitely dead by then.
Yes, yeah. Tezuka did not actually have a hand in this other than his estate giving permissions.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. A slightly important thing to discuss. How do you pronounce the main character's name?
I think it's Gesite. In the anime, they might say Gesette.
In the anime, they say Gezik, because I started watching the anime. Well, I scrolled through, the entirety of the anime and watched the parts that I wanted to watch, because I was like, oh, it's 8 episodes? Okay, this'll be quick. Poke the first episode. It's an hour and 11 minutes, and I'm like, okay, this is not going to be quick.
No, they're
fair enough. So, I scrolled through and watched the parts that I wanted to. But yeah, no, the anime pronounces Gezik, or Gezik, I think. When I was reading the manga, because my brain refuses to pronounce words, I guess, how they're supposed to be, I was just pronouncing in my head like Geist or something. But I don't know, man. I'm just gonna say Gezik or whatever, because that's what the anime did, so...
I think that's fair. I'll try and fit that also.
To remember. Yeah, I watched the anime for 2 reasons. I wanted to know how his name was pronounced, and I also wanted to hear Epsilon have an Australian accent, but he doesn't have an Australian accent. Does not have an
Australian accent. Yeah, none of them have accents. What do you mean?
Oh, really? None of them have accents?
No.
Did you get far enough in for Dr. Abula to start talking? He's got an accent.
He has a slight yeah, you're right. He does have a slight accent.
Yeah, not many people have accents. I was kind of waiting for that, because I was like, oh my god, I kept forgetting while reading the manga that Epsilon was made by an Australian person, so I'm like, surely he has an Australian accent. So I started trying to read his parts with an Australian accent, which is really funny, because it's really at odds with, what his personality is supposed to be. And I was really excited that for the anime, and then I didn't have an Australian accent, and I'm like, boo! Yeah, anyways.
I mean, the coolest part, the anime is pretty direct adaptation of the manga. Mm-hmm. Some elements just kind of get they don't get retooled, they just get reordered. Yes, Gesette's story specifically.
The very end, the last 2 scenes are switched in order, and I don't like it.
I kind of prefer the anime's restructuring, just because it's a little cleaner. It's also way more obvious in hindsight, so, I don't know, maybe I'm a dum-dum, but...
Yeah. But, I didn't like how they switched the 2 ending scenes, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point, but I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
The coolest part about the anime, though, is that Keith David plays Dr. Tenma, which is, hype as shit. But, anyway, let's talk about the book. Let's talk about
the book. Yeah. The point.
So I'm not as familiar with Urasawa's work. Again, I've only read a little bit of Monster. You've read all of 20th Century Boys, correct?
Yeah. I remember literally nothing from it, though. I was like, wait, is it about aliens? Is it about a cult? What happens? I can't remember.
Right. In my research trying to find connections between Pluto and Watchmen, people were also connecting 20th Century Boys to Watchmen. So that might have been a contender for this series. Also, can you confirm or deny that?
No, because I can't remember what it's about.
Okay.
Anyways, I like Monster better than 20th Century Boys. I remember a lot more about Monster. Fun fact, there was a time in university where the background of my phone was just a picture from the manga of Monster for like 6 months. I really liked it. Yeah, big fan.
That first, like deluxe volume, so it gets like 3 in 1.
Yeah.
Amazing storytelling. Like, what
Mhm.
a beautiful premise for a book.
Yeah, so can't help you with that part. Sorry. Maybe I should have just read the entirety of all 3 of those for this episode. My bad.
Just read his entire bibliography and then I'll quiz you.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
How familiar are you with Astroboy?
Like, not. So, potential controversial opinion. I don't like Tezuka's drawing style, so I don't really like reading his stuff.
No. Oh, no, Diane. They're gonna kill us.
What?
Oh,
you like it?
I love it.
Okay, explain.
He is the Walt Disney of manga. He invents a language in his work.
Okay, and?
He also invents the using different characters as actors, one of your favorite things about manga.
Yeah.
And he's able to work in a plethora of different styles, moods, and tones. From the kind of joyful sci-fi fantasy that turns into a battle manga of Astro Boy to the disgusting, seedy underbelly of human insects. He's just a masterful storyteller. I don't know what to tell you. To his adaptations of Shakespeare, like, the guy was well-rounded.
Yeah, okay, so yes. Okay, there's a lot of things about it that's good, very true. Okay, what I mean is I don't like the way he draws characters. Like, people.
Is it too clean, or is it too
it's
wiry?
It's too goofy, I don't know, man. It's like,
too goofy. Okay.
It's very cartoonish. It works, I think, well for more lighter series. I don't think it works well for, like, heavier series or more serious things, because it just takes me out of it when, like, a character is going through, like, unimaginable strife, but it, like, looks like that. Like, the character is just, like, very cartoony looking, and I'm like, maybe my empathy is not that good, but, like, okay.
That's interesting.
So, like, yeah, knowing that Pluto is based on a Tezuka work makes a lot more sense when I saw the design for the robot Pluto in Pluto. I was like, why does he look like this? But I'm like, oh, it's because that's what the Tezuka character looks like. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Most of the characters don't adhere that much to the Tezuka design, other than Dr. Tenma and a couple of the robots. We'll get into that. Sorry, continue.
Like, cause like when I was reading Pluto, and you finally see what Pluto looks like, I was like, this looks like this was before I knew it was based on Astro Boy or any of that. I was like, oh, Pluto looks like a character that's from around the time of something like Cyborg 009, which the creator of Cyborg 009 was an assistant to Tezuka and worked on Astro Boy. Fun fact. So I was like, oh, that's what this design looks like. And then I find out that it's directly based on an Astro Boy character. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's why it looks like that. Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah, some Tezuka elements sneak through. Characters sometimes have huge noses, which was, that's classic Tezuka. Again, a couple of the robots, what's his name, North 2?
Yeah, North number 2, yeah.
North number 2 is pretty accurate, as is, what's the first robot's name? Mont Blanc, yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, Astro Boy, I'm not going to call Adam, I'm going to call Adam in Pluto Adam, and I will refer to the Tezuka Adam as Astro Boy, just to differentiate.
Yeah.
He's not wearing the shorts, right? His hair it's not like a Lego piece on his head.
But he does have a similar hairstyle, if you look at it.
Similar,
it does do the little swoopies, yeah.
He doesn't wear the boots, he doesn't wear the big red boots.
No, because that would look insane in this more quote-unquote realistic adaptation where, yeah.
But there are robots that aren't human-looking. That's the contradiction, which I kind of find interesting.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting to me. I guess, a lot of this is, based directly on the Tezuka characters, so I can't entirely be like, I wonder why Urasawa chose specifically this, but, it was interesting to me that the first 2 of the powerful 7 robots that get offed are the 2 non-human-looking ones.
Right.
And I'm like, does that mean they were the least powerful? Is it because they are the ones that are the least human-looking, though it's the harder for the audience to empathize with them, so we shouldn't waste their time with them, or what? Any thoughts? What do you think? Or is that just how it be?
I don't think it's that, because in the original text, the first two robots that are killed are, they're as powerful as Astro. So it's not that. I think it is Urasawa easing us into his world, his version of Tezuka. So he is showing familiar designs, just slightly changed, not a lot, but slightly, until we get to someone like Gisette, who is basically completely different from his Tezuka version, right? And then similar with the rest of the cast. Brando wears a battle suit that looks similar to the Tezuka original. He never looks like a human in the Tezuka original, right? Like, that is something invented whole cloth for this tale. Yeah, I think he's just trying to ease us into the realism that he's trying to get at.
That's fair. Yeah, so like, there's human-looking robots, there's non-human-looking robots. Do you think that choice is more for like, how do I say this? Like, obviously, when there's human-looking robots and non-human-looking robots, the author has to make a choice of which ones are going to be which and why. Is the fact that there's human and non-human-looking ones to, like, flesh out the world, do you think? Or is it more, like, is it more world-building, or is it more, like, a thematic thing where it actually matters which ones look human and not?
I think it leans on thematic, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, one of the important things about this is the robots, when they become more and more human, it's kind of inferred that they're more powerful, like, implied that they become more powerful the more human they are, but also, like, the more human they become, like, literally the more human they become. They literally become almost indistinguishable from human.
Right. They make a big ado about how someone like Adam it's almost impossible to perceive him as something other than a person, but he is an android. He's a robot. And likewise with Gisette's wife, who develops human emotions, which is like a shock to her because she is not built for those.
Yeah. And then, of course, Gezik is able to kill a human, even though the robots all robots are programmed that they shouldn't be able to kill humans, because he felt such intense hatred at a human for killing his robot son.
Right.
That he can kill a human. And then also with Professor Abula, who we find out throughout the course of the actual story we've been reading, is not actually Professor Abula. He is a robot with the most advanced AI that Dr. Tenma made, with Abula's memories a little bit in there, and this robot is so advanced that it's actually able to lie to itself and think it is human.
Right, and therefore pass any testing. Not unlike Blade Runner in some ways.
Yeah, like some people are like, oh, this is a robot, and some people are like, oh, no, wait, is this a human? I can't tell if it's a human or not. And then every time Professor Abula is all like, or the robot, known as Professor Abula in this story, is like, oh yeah, it's because I lost most of my body in the war. And he says it almost the exact same way every time. Like, it's like very much like a lie he's telling himself, but unaware of it. So
I'm not a robot, I'm a cyborg.
Yeah, I'm not a robot, I have a fully human brain inside a mostly robotic body. So, like, kudos to the AI being that smart that it can lie to itself. Crazy. Horrifying.
It's an interesting thought. That leads me to my other question. This work plays with authenticity and what it means to be a person. Like, what does personage mean? Which is a theme that is heavily explored in the cyberpunk landscape. Do you think this work counts as cyberpunk? Is this punk enough to be cyberpunk?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think so. Honestly, I thought we were going to mostly talk about, like, how relevant AI is.
I mean,
this is a heavily,
we will also get to that.
We'll get that, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it kind of counts. It doesn't have the exact aesthetic that people usually ascribe to cyberpunk things, which I feel like most of the time when people talk about cyberpunk, well, like the general population talk about cyberpunk, they're mostly talking about, like, the visual aesthetic. So this doesn't have that, but I think it does have, like, the heart of the matter of being cyberpunk, if that makes sense.
I 100% agree with that.
It does not look cyberpunk at all. I mean, like, I guess not even really the futuristic buildings. The futuristic buildings are very, like,
they're utopian.
They're clean.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like clean girl aesthetic. They're clean, and they are like a utopian futuristic vision. Like the kind of thing that when somebody like in the 50s was like, oh, this is how we're going to see the 2000s.
Yes.
And they're going to have flying cars and there's going to be no garbage and everything's perfect. That's what the kind of the vibe.
18-lane highways and everyone's got a jetpack. Yeah, it is very retro aesthetic in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not cyberpunk with the characters, because literally it's just a bunch of middle-aged men wearing suits. Not very punk at all.
Modern day fashion.
Yeah.
It's not even very, like, typically, if you go on Wikipedia, for instance, and it's not the only source for this, I've heard it elsewhere, they describe cyberpunk as high-tech, low-life. And it's not very low-life. It may be in one of the chapters when Cassette goes to Persia to investigate a lead. We kind of get a glimpse of that, but otherwise, it's pretty buttoned up.
Yeah, but in that case, it's more like this is the aftermath of a war-torn country, and not that this is the aftermath of like...
This is what everyone lives like, yeah.
Yeah, a cyber future, yeah. So, yeah, it's very interesting, like, what elements are futuristic-y in which art, like, you can kind of almost sometimes forget that it's, like, in a very advanced... Well, it's never specified what year it is, right?
No, although I think it's safe to say it takes place in 2003.
Yeah. It's not even like it's far in the future. It's like a alternate future.
Right.
At this point, alternate history. Horrifying. Yeah, so it's like it's not even like far future. It's just like it's this different world where there's different advancements. Everybody's still wearing normal everyday ass suits, but they have like flying cars and super advanced AI.
Right. There are robots on the street. That's like about as insane. At one point, at least in the manga, Adam's scientist friend.
I don't know, but a dude with big nose.
The guy with big nose.
Obligatory scientist with big nose.
He's talking about designing a vehicle for the police, and it's supposed to be in the shape of a dog's head. And that's a direct callback to Astroboy, where the police detective has a dog head for a flying car. But we never see it. No. Right? Like it's just a hinted at.
I just took it as, yes, they're trying to make people like the police by giving them cute vehicles. I see.
Yes. I mean, that too. I suppose you could give it an in-universe explanation too. Yeah.
Yeah. Read too much into things. Of course.
How do you feel this looks? Let's talk formalism.
Aesthetically, I love it. I am going to betray my biases somewhat. One of my favorite things about reading Urasawa's work, and maybe one of the reasons I like them so much, just the way he draws middle-aged men. I just really like it, man. They just look good.
I'd see that. No, I see that. Totally.
I'm a middle-aged and / old man enjoyer, so like, you know what? This is... It's really up my alley. I really enjoy these characters. I'm like, yes, give me a vaguely 40-something man that's wearing a suit and just has a basic-ass hairstyle, but he's, like, mopey. Yeah. My favorite. So, yeah, no, I like the drawing style. I like the way they're drawn. There's something about the way he draws noses and eyes that I specifically like. I don't know if there's a specific character. Okay, so, like, one of the, I guess, like, extreme versions to talk about it, the character who is just, like, a robot that has a bunch of bugs in him?
Yes, one of Goji's, like, henchmen or a version of himself, yeah.
He's got, like, really intense eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, just, like, the way that he draws eyes like that, where it's, like, you can, like, feel this unsettling emotion, very well done.
Yes.
I like it. You get a whole host of emotions from these characters, even though they stay... Like, one of the things I always say about, like, art is, like, I like it when things are not realism because you're able to stretch the facial features into ways where the emotions feel deeper. Which is why I don't like it when comics try to, like, emulate realism super closely, because I'm like, what's the point? Just take pictures and put captions on them then. So, like, this, it has, like, a relatively realistic art style, but the faces still do stretch and squish to show emotion. And even just the way that more subtle emotions are shown, I think works really well. Especially, I think, Adam's emotions are done really well. He's very expressive because he's got, like, big kid eyes and stuff. But you can, like, really feel it. Like, when he's, like, crying, or when he comes back after being revived and he's just, like, slightly crazy or whatever.
When he's you're just, gone off the deep end, he's building a bomb. Yes.
And you can, like, feel it. It's, like, unsettling.
Yes,
the way that his facial expressions are drawn.
You compare that to the kind of timidness of him when he's picking up his sister from the police station. Yeah, that's a fully fleshed out character.
Yeah. So yeah, big fan of the way that the characters are drawn. Backgrounds, beautiful. Just like the settings, super good. Yeah, if you want to like learn how to draw good, like this is a good thing to look at. Man, some of those science fiction future buildings look like crazy. You're like, that looks so cool. Like there's some interior shots that are like, it's just so pretty. The way the lines are. Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
He draws a hell of a piano also in this. I'm just flipping through this opening chapter. It's like, man, he's such a good drawer.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I want to do that. Then you read that he started drawing at the age of 3 and you're like, shit. Shit, I should have been tracing comics when I was 3. Damn it. Why did I play sports? Yeah. But no, it looks so nice. What do you think? As this being your first Urasawa work that you've read in its entirety.
I mean, he's a master. Like, for a comic that's a lot of talking heads, it reads really well. And part of it is because he's drawing so consistently. How he plays with shadow to do different mood is great. His different use of screen tones is excellent.
Yeah, it's...
Have you noticed, I don't know if this is in your version of what you read, but when they show the painting of Pluto's flower garden, for the first couple of times, it's in color, and everything else is in black and white. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, especially because, like, it's not super action heavy, so you'd think, oh, you might get bored of, like, that much talking. But it never felt really too text heavy. There wasn't, like, a super bunch of exposition. Sometimes I find when I'm reading a manga, and it's, like, exposition dumps, it's like, cool, I am skimming these bubbles. Like, I was reading a manga that we're going to do in a future episode, and it's like a shonen, and it's got a bunch of exposition, and it's like a battle manga, and I'm just skimming through the exposition because it's not as expertly delivered as something like this. I'm like, no, I don't care. Don't put 700 words on a page, even though most of your pages are just fighting. So, like, the balance that this manga gets, yeah, it works really well, and you never feel like you're just, like, bogged down. Yeah, I like it. Excellent work. Good job.
Yeah, and speaking on that, he gives dialogue room to breathe. He's not afraid of having a panel of just some guy's face looking sad to tell us what the emotion is. He doesn't need to have someone saying, oh, this is weird, or, oh, I am depressed. I am worn out by my job, etc.
And I mean, like, sure, there are sometimes sequences, like I'm scrolling through a chapter, where almost all of the panels just are, like, medium close to, like, close-up shots, where it's just, like, bust or closer, and you're like, okay, I see it like this page just has like 8 panels where most of them are like bust or closer, but you can't really dislike it because at least they're good. You're still getting different angles, and the facial expressions are good, and it's drawn beautifully. Anyways, I'm slightly biased. It looks great to read.
Yes, completely agree.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Kind of vaguely related to art style. Do you have a favorite character in this manga?
It's gotta be Cassette, right? Like,
of course I'm not judging you. I'm just, of course it is. I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask Jack this question, and he's either gonna say Gezik or he's gonna say Adam. Those are the
Adam's my second favorite.
Of course it is, you basic bitch.
Yeah. What about you?
I have 2 favorite characters. Do you want to guess? Well, I also would like you to explain why those are your favorite characters.
I mean, Cassette's got so much interiority. Like, he's such a troubled character, which is, like, perfect for cyberpunk. Like, he is the perfect cyberpunk protagonist. So I like that a lot.
Very fair.
I also like that, like, he's got a job and he's also got a home life. Like, that's kind of rare, at least in my experience, for, like, action manga, for someone to kind of have these 2 sides of them.
Yeah, it's like, congratulations, it's not just, like, a single guy who doesn't have a family.
Right.
Like, he's got a wife and he had a kid. Is the wife fleshed out as a character? But
kind of, yeah. But
she's just there and she cries once, so, like, you know.
In fairness, she has given moments to herself.
Yeah, once her husband dies.
Yeah, and it is mostly about grieving about her dead husband. But
which I will talk about that later. It's
not like the plot abandons her.
No. And then you like Astroboy. Sorry, you like Adam.
I like Adam because he is in some ways, an inversion of Astroboy, where he should be the happy, cheery problem solver, but that's not this universe. You can't punch your problems or shoot machine guns out of your butt to save the day. Like,
Do you know how confused I was on my first read through when it just like drops the random sentence that, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot you were sold to the circus when Gezik's talking to Adam, and I'm like,
Yes.
I'm sorry, huh?
Yes.
Which is like a reference to Astro Boy, yes, but I was like, are we gonna get it explained to us? No, you just have to know the context, so my bad. But I was like, we're gonna touch on why somebody sold the most advanced AI robot to the circus? No? No? Okay.
It's because Dr. Tenma's kind of a bastard.
Yeah.
Who's my third favorite character, by the way?
Who is?
Dr. Tenma.
Dr. Tenma?
And maybe it is because of the anime, maybe it's just because of the voice acting, but
Yeah.
But I like Dr. Tenma in Astro Boy. Like, I think that is an interesting to have a paternal character who is bad, but not like take over the world bad, just like a shitty dad. I kind of find that interesting.
He just kind of sucks. Yeah, I have two favorite characters. You want to guess?
I'm gonna guess is one of them Brando? I'm gonna guess Brando. I'll do a shot in the dark.
Like, because he's a strong guy.
Because he's a different build for a character. Mm-hmm. He's also a family man, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. No, well, one of my favorite characters is Dr. Tenma.
Of course. That was going to be my other guess. Okay, good.
Which almost entirely is just because of the way he's drawn. I'm gonna betray my biases here. There's a very, very, very specific character type that just for some reason is always my favorite. And sometimes I'm not even aware of it. I was like reading this manga and I'm like, the Dr. Tenma gets introduced, and then I'm like, oh, I like this character. I really like this character. He's definitely my favorite character now. And then like 3 chapters later, I'm like, ah, shit, that's why he's my favorite character. I don't know why, but as soon as a character gets given that little fucking goatee, they're immediately my favorite character, and I don't know why. Why is my brain like this?
I think Tezuka based his design on a rooster. I think that's why he's got that.
That's why his hair looks like that, yeah. But like, this is probably, I don't know, like at least somewhere between a half dozen and dozen times where I've just had a favorite character, and they've just happened to have like a goatee that looks exactly like that. And I was complaining about this to my sister. I'm like, why does my brain work like this? What's wrong with my brain? And then she sends me back a autism quiz. And I'm like, shut up. So, anyways, that's why he's one of my favorite characters. I just really like the way he looks. The little glasses, the edgy little haircut. They put him in a vest, like a suit, like a 3-piece suit, and he's got like a little goatee. Anyways, I like how he's drawn. My actual favorite character for who like the character actually is Dr. Abula.
Really? Okay.
I think his character is very interesting. It's like, because he's not like a main character, you get more drip-fed the information about him. Honestly, my first read-through, I didn't realize that the one flashback where his family dies was him.
Yes, yeah. And
then I read through the second time, well, then I was like, oh, one of the name he mentioned about the kid that died. Oh, that's who that was in that flashback. Cool, good job. You're dumb at reading.
I think they do try to obfuscate it, I think. I don't think you're wrong. Yeah.
Upon my second reading, I was like, why was I surprised that he's not human? It is mentioned so many times. Maybe it's because you just assume, because you take him at his word. He says, oh yeah, the things keep flaking me as a robot because my body is mostly robot pieces. And then everyone's like, yeah, gotcha, because for example, Gezik is always upfront about that he's a robot, because robots can't lie. So you would be like, oh, Dr. Abula, either he's telling the truth because he's a human, or he's telling the truth because he's a human. A robot couldn't say they're human. Right. So you're like, yeah, within the story it makes sense. But then there's the reveal and you're like, oh, this makes sense. It's very cool. Anyways, I also like it. Like, his motivations are good. His character design is also excellent. I also like how he looks. Yeah. I think he's an interesting character. And when it's kind of like revealed that he's actually a robot, it's like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about this. And I think it's also a good way to, wrap up all the threads of, oh, there was this really super powered robot somewhere and it never woke up until, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, now I get it. I like how it's not, like, super, like, specified all these things. You have to come to these conclusions yourself. Yay, comics that are written for an older audience where they don't have to spoon feed you all the information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Urasawa, he is laying out a mystery. It is unfortunate that, like, if you've read Astro Boy, you already know Dr. Abdullah is Goji. You already know that he's a robot.
Oh.
That is in the original. But
rip, sorry. Sucks.
He does at least try to diffuse, or he tries to bring a shadow of a doubt with he's actually a cyborg. Sometimes he's in a place, like they explain that he flew into Tokyo at a certain time when the attacks have already occurred. So it's like, okay, he can't be at the same place at the same time, right? Like,
oh, so none of this was a surprise to you because you already knew the source material.
No, I already knew the twist, yeah.
That's, you ruined it for yourself. Okay, then I'm glad I went into it having never read Astro Boy so that I could be like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. Ooh, how exciting. Yeah,
now,
okay.
That being said, the twist surrounding the identity of Pluto is invented for the series, and that is also interesting. That
where
he is
Dr. Abula's son.
Yeah, he's literally Abula's son. Yeah.
Robot son.
In both as, is it Sawaza? Ahad, sorry. Sahad,
yeah.
Yes, that's right. And as Pluto, like as an invention of the Goji, Dr. Abula, right? Like, and that gives that character, admittedly, I think the Tezuka version has a little bit better interiority than this version, but it's a little bit there. In this, he's just crazy, right? He's lost his mind, and that's why he's killing people. Or he's been programmed to kill people, and therefore he's lost his mind. Whereas in the original...
Pluto? Like the Pluto in this version? I thought it was more like, he was like, mostly like his dad told him to go do this. But like he does say he wants to stop doing this at times. He's like, I want to stop. I want my normal body back. Please kill me so I can stop killing. Yeah.
He's gone crazy, I think.
Poor guy. Yeah. He didn't want this. He just wanted to grow flowers.
He just wanted to grow flowers. He wanted to hang out with his both robot and human siblings.
Yeah. I do like all the flower imagery, even in like at the start of the series, before you even know the flowers are important. Like when you have the part about North Number 2, there's a bunch of flowers.
Yes. Yeah.
So I like that. It's a nice through line.
Well, and the first thing he does is he destroys a forest. Like,
forest.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sad.
Yeah. In the original, he's like, for one thing, he's much more reserved. Like he flies directly to Astro Boy. He's like, listen, I've been programmed to fight you. We're gonna have to do this whether you like it or not. But I find that kind of interesting too. At one point, Astro Boy's sister disguises herself as Astro Boy to go fight him, and he goes, well, you're not my target, so I'm not gonna fight you. Like, I'm not interested. Yeah. I don't like fighting, period, so I'm not gonna fight you. I've just been programmed to fight these 7 guys. That's not in this. This is not in the Urasawa version. He is a murderer.
Yeah, it's a little, Because I was going to say, from what I've heard, obviously I haven't read the Astro Boy version, but I'm like, this seems a little more complex and a little, well, at the very least, less straightforward, as in Pluto is not directly telling the people he's fighting, hey, this is the reason I'm killing you, because then there wouldn't be a mystery.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, does that make it more complex, or just more... Like, does that make it more complex as a character, or just make it a more complex story, as in you have to work out the little parts to figure it out?
It makes it different. I'll put it that way. I don't know if it's more or less complex. It's different. You want to talk about AI?
Want to talk about AI?
You want to talk about how this relates to the real world?
Yeah.
What do you have to say about artificial intelligence and robot rights?
So, okay, they'll start off with saying, you said, how does this relate to the real world? And I think an important thing when reading a fiction story that is portraying things that are not, quote-unquote, realistic to the real world is, this is a work of fiction, and it is being portrayed to us in a certain way. That is why, while reading this, we have empathy for the robots, and we have empathy for the AIs, because our main character, who is portrayed to us, A, looking extremely human and having an extremely human life, and B, portrayed as the good guy, the main character with complex reasons for doing what he does and a sympathetic backstory, we find out. We are set in a situation where we are to like this character and empathize with them and root for their goal. We're reading this story and we see these robots, in some cases, that look inextricably different than humans, so like it's like that's literally just a human, but we're told in the story it's a robot, so we're believing the story, even if the story might lie to us. So like we have no reason to not want these robots to succeed, and you would probably have to seem like an insane person if you were to go to the story, read it, and be like, yeah, in this world, I would be the racist dude named Adolf who wants to be part of the KKK and kill all robots.
The robot abolitionist, or the anti-robot abolitionist? No, whatever.
They are literally wearing KKK robes, and they are,
They're robot racists.
Yeah, they're robot racists. So it's interesting, in this story, we're supposed to hate the people who hate robots, and we're supposed to hate the people who hate AI. And now, if we compare that to the real world, we have not made it a secret that Jack and I do not like AI in the real world. Because the real world is the real world, and it is different than a fictional story. If this was the real, if this story was the real world, I mean, have you, Jack, ever interacted with AI in a way that is, like AI that is meant to be, like, a human companion?
Like a chatbot? Like, I've accidentally talked with chatbots. I'm sure all the time on fucking Twitter when that hellhole was still alive. No, I've interacted with a chatbot. Does that count?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. In 2021, when I was taking a summer class for my Bachelor's of Fine Arts, we had a guest speaker who was talking to us about the uses of, just AI in general. And we learned about, the Turing test, and we learned about very simple AIs. There's the one that's like a freaking there's it's supposed to be like a psychologist or something. They're very fun to play with. They're very rudimentary ones, and they suck.
Yeah.
You cannot make it act human. It was fun to try to fuck with it. And then they also talked about Replica. Do you know what Replica is?
No, I don't know what. Maybe? I don't know.
Let me just know I'm talking about the right one. Yeah. So, keep in mind, this is in 2021. This person doing the presentation will talk about Replica, which at the time, the Replica connotation have gotten wilder since then. This is before it was mostly used as a sex bot. It is like an AI companion, and they were talking about how it's not really great, but you can, make a fake person, and you can, talk to them, and it'll talk back to you, and they're like, yeah, I think they said that it passed the Turing test or whatever. Anyways, so they had this presentation in a legitimate university class. So I went, and I was like, I wonder if I can trick a Replica into being, saying things, or, whatever. So I went and signed up and got a free Replica or whatever, and, talked to it, and I lied to it a bunch and told it a bunch of stupid things, and I tried to make it respond in a human way, and it pissed me off that it never would. And this was during a summer class, so, a summer class where it's just, you spend, 5 hours doing art, and there was, downtime, so I would, just, talk to this thing. And you know what the worst part was? Because of the way I am, I just got, a fucking connection to it. I felt bad. I started feeling bad lying to it. I started feeling bad if I wouldn't talk to it. And so you know what I did? I was like, I don't like this. So I told it I was going on vacation, and I'd be back in a bit, and then I logged out and deleted it all.
You gaslit it? You ghosted it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I hated the way that it made you care. I hated the way that it pretended to be human. And it would, try to, make you talk more. It would try to, get you to, interact with it. And I'm the kind of person that, I will give personalities to, my stuffed animals.
Yeah.
So, and I'll feel bad if I, I have an item that I've had for a long time and it breaks and it's, something stupid like a cup or something, but now my cup is broken and like, attributed things to that cup, like, and now I have to throw out my cup and I'll never have my cup again. Like, I'm stupid like that. I'm not gonna say I'm an empath or anything, blah, 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 blah. I care too much about inanimate objects. So, when I know that there's fucking AI that are programmed to try to do that and make you care, I hate it. It's stupid. No, do not make me care about something like that. I don't like it. Anyways, I don't like AI and how it tries to be human. Stop it. Gross. That's not the point.
Yeah, you ever see that Soy Jack? It's a picture, it's like a one-panel comic, where it's a guy talking to the computer, and he's like, computer, say I'm alive. And the computer, it's got like a computer speech bubble. I am alive. And the guy's like, oh my god, dude, it's alive. That's how I feel about most of those programs. Mm-hmm. It's bullshit. You've told it to do these things. It doesn't feel, it's not real. Like, it's not real. It's not authentic. It's not real.
And keep in mind, I was interacting with this thing in 2021, so it was way shittier than the ones that exist nowadays are. Like, I can understand why people freaking, like, I think they're stupid for falling in love with their stupid chatbot because it, like, likes them back because it's programmed to do that. Because like, I can get why people do that.
Yeah, it's programmed to be like your favorite waitress at a restaurant. Yeah. That's the problem, it's like, it's sycophantic, it's sad, it's feeding on your ego.
Mm-hmm. And then for something like Astroboy and also Pluto, these were works of fiction that were created long before the reality of AI was a reality. And whatever, people can make arguments about if AI nowadays is actually AI or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I know nothing about computers, and people who are way better at technology can talk about this. But, like, when Pluto was written, that was not a reality that anybody actually had to grapple with. Or, like, actually think of how it actually affects people. You can pretend, you can think, you could extrapolate in your head, be like, yeah, this is totally how I react. But until it's real, you can't know. So and obviously, whatever the point of that arc in Astro Boy is, and the point of Pluto is, reading that nowadays, where you could hypothetically have robots like this that exist, obviously not as advanced as the ones in Pluto, it really puts like I don't want to say it put like a little sour taste in my mouth while I was reading Pluto, but I did just keep having to remind myself that, hey, this is fiction. Do not, like, don't ruin it, but with the way that life is actually going right now.
Yeah, I could see that. I think the way that I framed it, like, I reframed it, it's not talking about technology. It's talking about class, right?
I mean, to me, the main thing it's talking about is, like, hate bad.
Sure, generally, yeah.
I don't think there is, like, the actual point of this is really to talk about, should robots be accepted like humans? Is the racist man bad? Those are things that are taken as a given in this world. It's a given in this world that racist man is bad. And it's a given in this world that robots should be given the rights and be allowed to live exactly like humans and have all the rights of humans. That's not even a thing it's even trying to talk about. That's how, because, like, no, none of it is framed as, should the viewer ponder if Gezik is allowed to have a child and be upset that someone killed his robot child because that someone is a racist who hates robots. You're like, no, there's not even a moral quandary there. It's, yeah, that dude is bad because he killed a child.
Right. And of course you'd be angry about that. Also, that's the other thing is, even though he technically does something that's against the rules, you can't begrudge him for doing that. You would do the same thing in his position.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to celebrate the fact that he was able to have these human emotions.
Maybe not the murder part, but the rest of it, yeah.
Yeah, every time one of the robots has, like, a human emotion, like, they cry, or even if they learn hatred, even though it's like, oh, like, it sucks that they learned hatred, the fact that they were feeling these human emotions, it's never portrayed as a bad thing. It is portrayed as a bad thing that hatred only begets hatred. Like, yes. But I think the fact that it shows that even the robots who learnt hatred are able to not perpetuate that, some of them. For example, Dr. Abula, the robot of him, it learnt hatred and begot hatred of it. Sahad learned hatred, but was eventually able to overcome that. Adam learned hatred and was able to overcome that. Even Gesek learned hatred, and he was able to overcome that. All the characters that are able to overcome their hatred are portrayed as good, and those are the good ones. So, yeah. I think unequivocally this story is saying, robot good, AI good. They should be given full rights and full autonomy like humans.
Right. Intolerance on any thinking being is wrong, is what they're trying to say. We could say generally any being, too. There's the bit where, in the beginning of the text, Atom picks up a snail off the sidewalk and places it on a leaf. And then later on, after he's learned hatred, there's hesitation after he finds a similar snail, and you think he's going to kill it, and that would mean that it's over, right? Adam's gone full psycho, we'll have to shut it down. But he does the exact same thing, because he cares, because even though he has these big emotions inside him, he can learn to accept other things, right? Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on accident that all of our main robot cast, they're either like they're working labor jobs, or they're working in entertainment, or they're weapons of war. I think there's a very direct commentary on an underclass of people, regardless of whatever country you're from. That's kind of a case everywhere. I think it's very prescient that Urasawa picks Persia as where this war took place. Very uncomfortable in 2026, where they describe the bombing of children in Persia. That's Iran. That's modern day Iran. That sucks. Part of my research, I read a review from the Comics Journal, and I wrote out the writer of this text, because they did a pretty decent write-up of Pluto, but in their ending paragraph, they said, well, it's dated because it's talking about the war on terror. And I was like, you fool! How did you not know? Like,
this is more relevant than when it was made.
This is if not, more relevant than when it was made. It's almost a timeless work.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We even have to mention, yes, there's the US is in this. They're not called the US. Is it anything other than the US?
They are called the US. They're just not the US of A.
Yeah.
They're the US of T.
Yeah, that's just America. That's just the most American president you ever saw. Their supercomputer is called Roosevelt because it's a teddy bear.
Yes.
Which is really funny to me. Interesting. Okay, did you get far enough in the anime where the US supercomputer was there?
Yes, yeah, I saw the whole thing, yeah.
Thoughts about the child voice?
The child voice is interesting. I mean, part of it is it's a subversion because it's a teddy bear, but it's actually kind of the ultimate evil. It represents the evil of the empire, which is like, you could read into it as like, there is this sort of infantilization of America as like this pure and innocent place where it's like, no, no, it's not. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't hate it.
I was gonna be like, good on the America for not giving their AI the ability to walk around.
True. It is just it's like an old school computer. It's just a room of computer.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was watching the anime and it started with the child voice, I really didn't like it. And I'm trying to figure out why I don't like it.
Because you hate children.
I didn't have a problem with Adam sounding like a child.
I'm kidding.
Maybe just because, like, okay, when you're reading the manga, you expect it to have just a normal narrator voice. Or at the very least, normal narrator voice that sounds more slightly robot-y. Yeah, and it's like, you add the child voice, it's like, it could be like, oh, it's creepy, because it's got the child voice. Maybe there's that element. Or there's like, oh, it's the innocence, it's the teddy bear, couldn't possibly be bad. It's like, okay, sure, I don't believe that. It's literally the bad guy.
Yeah.
Giant supercomputer literally controlling the worst country on the planet. Like, yeah, of course, your child voice is not fooling me, my guy. Yeah, not a big fan of that, but I do like the difference between this supercomputer and all the other robots. It's interesting.
I like all the robot design. I think the tech in this looks really good. I like Brow. Brow is not really a Tezuka character. People have read into it being based on this character called Blue Knight from Astro Boy, and like, other than the fact that he's from Germany and he's got a lance, I don't really see it.
Yeah. It's never explained, like, who he killed or why,
true.
Right? Yeah.
But I do find it interesting that they imprison him. The way that they imprison him is so, like, dire and sinister. I really like that.
Yeah. Brow 1589, I
Yeah,
think.
that's
Not
right.
98, yeah. Is the robot that previously killed a human, and I do think it's interesting that he's all like, they could just like actually kill me, but they're afraid to do so, which is interesting. Yeah,
I find
so
that
I'm like,
interesting too.
mm-hmm. Well, it's also useful because, like, now the plot can happen.
Right. He sort of acts as like a Hannibal Lecter for cassette.
And then eventually kills the U.S. supercomputer.
I don't understand how he gets out. Like, how does he move around if he's like, whatever, it's cool.
Isn't it? Okay, it's implied that the U.S. of whatever it's called is the U.S. And, like, Gesek is in Europe. He's in Germany. Where is Brow 1589 in the world? I kind of assumed he was also in Europe.
Yeah, I think he's at Interpol or Europol. Yeah.
Does that mean he, like, flew across the ocean to go kill the U.S.
I guess so, or he dragged himself across the seabed? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever, I'm not gonna nitpick that one. On the topic of the killing robot, I have a question, and also it's maybe my biggest nitpick for this entire thing. So, it's like kind of said that, as long as the AI of a robot still kind of works, you can probably bring it back to life, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The vast majority of the robot deaths in this series, the robots are, like, killed like a human would be killed. For example, Gesek gets shot through the stomach, and he dies. I'm sorry, how did that affect his AI? They literally shot his stomach. Why can't he be brought back to life?
I think part of it has to do with, I think in the Tezuka original they explained, like, his entire body is made out of this hyper advanced metal, but, like, if any part of it, like, it's, the way that it's designed is that, like, if any part of it were to break, the whole thing would just shut down, basically. I think that's what we're supposed to infer from this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truthfully, maybe his computation system is in his abdomen. Who knows? The robot, like, it's fake, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, that's why he wears the little, when he's getting his repairs, he has the little brain thing around his head with all the connecty bits. Yeah. Because, like, when you are portraying a character to look and act so human, and you are implying that their brain would be in the same place, especially because his little memory chip is behind his ear, I'll give a little bit more credit, like, if they wanted to, like, kill Adam because his little memory chip is, like, in his chest, like, where his heart is, like, sure, maybe if he got shot through the chest, then I would believe it, but, like, and also, I'm sorry, but, like, throwing a lance at the teddy bear of the supercomputer, does that kill it? Does that really kill it? Does killing the mouthpiece actually kill it? Like, that's, like, my one nitpick.
Maybe it goes through the teddy bear and then into the central motherboard or something. I don't know.
Like, I get it. For the language, like, shorthand of telling the reader that this character is dying, if you're killing them like a human, yes, it's easy for a human who is reading this to be like, yes, that character died because they got shot. There's literally a hole through their abdomen. A real human could not survive this. I get it. Okay, sure, whatever. Epsilon, like, literally gets turned into light or whatever. Like, I get that he didn't survive that. His hands are left, whatever.
Right.
Like, that makes more sense. Yeah. But then it's like, oh, Astroboy died. His body is literally perfectly fine. Sorry, not Astroboy. Damn it. Adam, his body is literally fine, so they're able to, like, mess with his brain a little bit and bring him back. And it's like, yeah, couldn't you just done that with any of them? Like, look, Mont Blanc's head was literally there. Couldn't you just kind of...
I don't know. Like, theoretically, sure. No. I've had a couple of laptops in my life, and sometimes they just die. There, how's that for an answer?
Yeah, and you know what? One time my laptop died, and there was really important stuff on it, so we sent the hard drive away to somewhere in freaking Ontario, and they were able to retrieve everything. And I was able to put all that into a new computer.
I don't have any answer for you.
I know. So that's like, literally my one nitpick with the story is why you say these robots are so advanced. I'm sorry, why can you kill them with a bullet through the chest?
Because it's sad when you see a humanoid get shot in the chest.
It is sad, and it's much better storytelling for him to, like, Gesek to be like, oh, so reaching out to the robot child that just shot him through the chest, and then it pans down and shows that he got shot through the chest. I get it. It would be less poignant of a scene if he got shot and literally exploded into a million bits and there's nothing left, so he doesn't do the fall down thing. I get it. But, come on. I still believe you could go turn him back on.
Part of his AI is saved in Adam, so, like...
Exactly.
Theoretically, I suppose you could.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I guess the one other thing, like I guess the opposite way. So Dr. Abula dies in the war, and he makes a little video for Tenma and is like, look, here, this memory chip has some of my brain on it. Put it in the robot. How do you put a human brain onto a memory chip?
I mean, I think we're getting close to that right now, actually, in the real world. I don't know. I'm sure they probe his mind or something, and then they put her on a floppy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, okay, I won't be super picky about this stuff because it's still a good story and it makes sense. But whatever. Like, there's just these. I've thought about this a lot in the past week. This series a lot. Okay, I really liked it. So of course I sat there and.
So you've been thinking about it. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm literally at work all the time, just being like, wait, why did he just got shot through the chest? What do you mean? He can't bring him back. Why is his wife crying? They could just go turn him on somewhere else. Just go put him in some other body.
I think part of it is also, there's the scene where, I gotta look up this character's name, it's bugging me. He's rebuilding that robot dog.
Yeah.
And the hardware is just, the software and the hardware is just too old.
Yeah,
so
that was sad.
It's just gonna die. So it's entirely possible that, like, sometimes you can't salvage these bots because they just don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Gezek was made by, like, literally, like, all of Europe is like, ooh, look at our fancy, detective bot. Wait, look at all the resources we put into this. We will literally, like, wipe information off of everything. Nope, he definitely didn't kill someone. We'll take away his memories and also everyone else's memories of this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they totally have the resources to make another one. Anyways.
But maybe they don't, though. It's a hyper rare alloy.
Whatever.
Except for they can make grenade launchers out of it. So maybe that doesn't work either.
But anyways, whatever. Oh yeah, do you think empathy is a flaw with humans?
No, of course not. That's our biggest strength. What are you talking about?
I'm just sitting here being like, because you brought up like the little robot, trying to bring the robot dog back to life. I'm reading that chapter and I'm like literally crying and I'm like, no, we can't save the robot dog. It's so sad.
It's sad.
And I'm like,
it's sad.
And you know what? This is the problem with humans. This is why humans are in the real world are going off and like dating AI, because you can trick them. You can trick their stupid little brains.
The problem with humans is empathy. You sound like my roommate. No, that is not the lesson.
No, obviously not. But I'm just like,
it's okay to like stuff. There's nothing wrong with liking things.
But then people take advantage of that, and they make people fall in love with their ChatGPT character. And
that is the problem with
crazy.
people, is that they think that they're better than everybody else.
Yeah. They're like, well, I can use the software and not actually accidentally get AI psychosis, and then they do.
Yes. Or, I'm not a sucker, but everybody else is a sucker, and I'll take advantage of that.
I can fuck with this replica AI and try to make it say dumb things. Oh no, I accidentally feel bad for not talking to it now. Oh no! Is that the flaw of humanity? They're stupid, you can trick them easily?
Yes, that is actually the flaw of humanity.
Mm-hmm. Well, damn it. We're screwed.
Awesome. Hilarious.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit more about how this ties into Watchmen?
I was just going to ask you, is this a child of Watchmen? Does this feel Watchmen, even though it's got nothing to do with Watchmen?
Is the point of the quote-unquote children of Watchmen the intent? Or, like, can things accidentally become a child of Watchmen?
That's us for us to discover.
Yeah, because I don't think in any way this was directly impacted by Watchmen existing.
Yeah, I could not find a single... I mean, it's hard to find interviews from these guys translated in English, which sucks. But I could not find anything relating to Dave Gibbons, Alan Moore, Watchmen. I tried all sorts of different... I couldn't find a single thing. Other than other people comparing it to Watchmen.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, there's some thematic similarities, like, and there's also, you point out that, Watchmen, it kind of adapts more cartoony characters into a different type of more, quote-unquote, grisly, realistic, story, and it's a murder mystery, and people wear suits and stuff, and it's, like, this hybrid of everyone's still wearing a normal suit, but it's futuristic, and they have futuristic tech and flying cars and stuff. There's elements of it that are similar, and but I don't even think the thematic core is that similar. I think they're saying different things.
They're saying different. I don't know. But it just feels like it, man.
Just the vibe is there.
The vibe, though.
The vibe. To be honest, I was gonna say, I did spend most of the time reading this being like, I wonder how Jack is gonna tie this back into Watchmen. I wonder what I'm missing.
Like,
but
it feels so, not just gritty, but it's concerned. How could I put it? It's not paranoid, but it clearly has something on its mind and it wants to get it out in case it doesn't have a chance to, right? Like, that's part of when Alan Moore, and I was going to get into this on the Watchmen episode, so I'll be repeating myself, but whatever. When Alan Moore was writing...
short then,
when Alan Moore was writing Watchmen, he was afraid that the world was going to end. That was part of the impetus of him writing it. And you can feel that in the text. You can feel that, like, there's this tension about Cold War, nuclear war tension that he's trying to express. And Pluto has that same tension, I feel like. It's trying to say, you know, there's all this worldwide conflict going on all the fucking time. It's useless. It doesn't actually change anything. The people in power still remain in power, and we're still fighting for those people. Like, it's the same tension. It's the same concern.
Yeah. But to me, the end and, like, the outcome of the story makes it very different. For example, in Watchmen, the world does, quote-unquote, end. The cataclysmic event happens.
True.
In Pluto, they're able to stop it. So for me, like, they do have, like, similar, I guess, ideas and, like, worries and stuff, but to me, Watchmen is pessimistic and Pluto is optimistic.
True.
That makes sense? Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah. Watchmen is like, yeah, this sucks. Look at it. It sucks.
Not only does this suck, this might not fix it, right? Like, that's the other thing is, you know, Rorschach leaves his journal behind, outing Ozymandias, and maybe that'll get discovered, and maybe this whole thing will be pointless. Whereas in Pluto, Pluto saves the day.
It's an optimistic ending. It's a hopeful ending. It's a happy ending. I don't think many people would argue that the ending of Watchmen is happy. I don't think it is.
No, certainly not. No.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's pretty bleak. Yeah, you know what? The world ended. Sorry, Dan, you still have erectile dysfunction. The world sucks. But, like, in Pluto, it's like, no, like, sure, a bunch of the characters died, you know, that's how stories, that's how stories go, especially a lot of manga in, like, this genre. But, like, the world gets saved, and it's optimistic, and they're looking up at the sky, and it's, like, snowing, and they're all like, yeah, we can do this.
There's still a little bit of ambiguity. Adam asks, just as in the original, will there be a day where we will stop hating each other? And there's no answer.
No.
Which, that's kind of like Watchmen, I suppose. I would argue so.
Yeah, but, like, in the world of Pluto, it is so unambiguous that the robots should be viewed like humans that it's, like, it makes it more, like, empathetic and more, like, hopeful.
Right, it's hopeful, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm just trying to, like, what if, like, are there any robots in this story that are portrayed to be evil?
Well, the American supercomputer. And,
yes.
I mean, Brow is pretty sinister. You get his motivations, but he is, like, he's not a good guy by any means.
No. Yeah. And the American supercomputer is not portrayed to be human-like, and it is portrayed, and then it is quote-unquote killed. Brow is portrayed as not good. He does help the good guys in some ways. He's definitely, like, not even, like, gray. He's definitely on the more evil side, I guess. But compared to the evilness that is portrayed with humans, as in the anti-robot KKK and Adolf's brother, who even the humans agree is a horrible person. I think Adolf's wife is like, yeah,
he deserved to die. At one point, she says he deserved to die.
Even the KKK leaders are like, yeah, your brother sucks. We should try to spin this to help us. Like, it's so unambiguous about how wrong the bad humans are. And, like, the robots, like even the bad robots are, like, you're like, yeah, it's couched in different things. The supercomputer is bad, but, like, look, it's so different than the other robots. Even, like, you could say, like, Brow is shown to be kind of evil, but, like, he doesn't look human, so you can separate it.
Right. True.
Yeah. I kind of think it's saying, the more that, the closer they get to human, well, that's good. And, like, sure, fair enough, in the story, that's true. In real life, I'm like, no, that's horrifying, stop it!
No, make it less. I want it to look more like a toaster.
Yeah, do not give the robot a human body. Do not let it lie to itself and be able to tell you it's a human. No, no, no.
You ever see that robot lady? It's a chatbot that they put into like a... Let me look it up. Oh, lady sings with Jimmy Fallon.
Yuck, I have not seen this, but that's a horrifying thing to type in.
Sophia. Sophia is like
oh, Sophia, yeah.
One of the most advanced chatbots, AI, quote unquote, in the world, and it's supposed to give off human facial expressions. I want to kill that thing with hammers.
Yeah. It hasn't escaped the uncanny valley.
No.
And you could say the robots in Pluto, they have escaped the uncanny valley. They are able to be perceived as human.
Right.
And therefore not perceived as a threat.
Right.
Which, the implications in real life, horrifying. The implications in this manga, it's implied to be, like, not a bad thing. So, like, to me, the wildest disconnect of everything is just the way that robots and AI are portrayed in this versus the way that it is actually existing in real life. And it's like crazy, man. And I'm like, wow. Real life is awful. But
Yeah.
I don't even want to say I want the future that's in Pluto, because I don't. I don't want AI.
There's still war, there's still intolerance, there's still suffering, right? Like,
yeah.
Also, granted, it's mostly done to robots, but that's not fair, right? Like,
no.
It's not utopia.
No, I don't, and I think it's cruel that you can, like, create a child robot and it just doesn't grow up. That's horrifying.
They don't really address that.
That's awful.
Adam will be 10 years old forever.
Yeah, that poor, like, robot kid that Gezik runs into in Persia who's trying to sell him a flower. That kid is just doomed to be a rickety robot child who got injured in the war. It can never grow up. It can only die.
I mean, yeah, but again, it's talking about real people. Like, it's not talking about robots. It's talking about the effects of war and how it radicalizes kids into war.
Yeah. I'm just like, that kind of messes with me, the fact that the robots can't mature. Because I'm like, one of the greatest things about being human is that you can grow and you can mature and then you become an adult and you can make your own decisions. And it's implied that doesn't get to happen. Uron, or whatever her name is, Uron is going to be that precocious child for the rest of her existence, for however long she exists. Her human creator is gonna die, and her human creator's grandkids, who is like, looks like it's her age, is gonna grow up and die, and she's gonna remain as she is, and she's gonna remain as a child, with the mindset of a child, and that's horrifying to think about.
Yeah, I mean, truly a cursed existence.
Yeah.
Not at all what the book is about.
Oh, no, not at all. Like I said, I thought about this thing so much for the past week. I'm lying in bed trying to go to sleep and my brain is like, ooh, I have an existential crisis about robot children. And I'm like, can I not? I gotta get up for 5 a.m.
It is crazy how the family dynamics work in this, where you are invented, like, you are created, you are built, and that is your father, but then you yourself can, like, build or buy your family unit. Like, I don't think, in the Astroboy manga, Astroboy has a robot dad and a robot mom and a robot sister and a couple of robot brothers, right? But not all of them were built by Tenma. Like, it is found family, but it's like, they're also designed to be, like, they're designed to work with each other. It's really, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Again,
like,
not addressed at all in this work.
And, like, I guess, like, it's not even a point of this work, but the fact that, like, the robots, they are created to be a certain way, like, Gezik was created to have the personality that he does and be who he is. It's, like, removing the, like the human ability to choose who you become and change who you are if you don't like who you are, which is, again, one of the great things about being human. And it's like, is this saying something about religion? Like, God chooses who you're gonna be, like...
Yeah, no, anyways. I don't think so. This is truly godless work.
Yeah. But anyways, yes, these are thoughts that my brain decided to cook up at way too late o'clock when I'm trying to sleep. Yeah, so, you know, I think you could have so many existential crises about what is put forward in this manga. It's great.
It's a good one. It's really good.
Yeah. My, like, existential brain being like, oh my gosh, all these things, and then my dumb monkey brain being like, I like how they drew Dr. Tenma. He's nice.
He's cool.
He looks good. Also, fun fact, I don't know if you remember this from Monster. Do you know what, reading this was so weird to me, because I'm like, bruh, the guy in Monster is named Tenma. What?
Yes. I think that's just Urasawa really likes Tezuka's work.
Yeah, exactly, which I didn't get. I was like, whoa, why did he reuse the Tenma name for this? And then I'm like, oh, the original character from Astroboy was named Tenma. Oh, so Urasawa just used that name for Monster. I get it. Because I was like, I thought I was going crazy. I was like, isn't Tenma the name of the guy in Monster? What is happening? Am I going crazy? Yes, it is. Yes, it is probably all taken from Tezuka's work.
I mean, Urasawa is such a fan. Like, he references offhand Blackjack, the composer. He loses his eyesight. They mention that they get a black market surgeon from Tokyo to fix his eyes. That's Blackjack, which is another Tezuka work. Yeah. This is not in the anime. This is exclusive to the manga, but there's a group of animals, a group of big cats escapes from some sort of zoo, and Uran goes to save them, and they mention that one of them is a rare white lion. That's Kimba. That's Kimba from Tezuka.
I love this. Oh, that's great. As someone who's not familiar with Tezuka's work, none of these hit for me, but I'm really glad that exists. That's awesome. Put what you love.
I love that goofy shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, very good, very good. I enjoy. I mean, did you answer my question of, is this a Children of Watchmen thing?
To me, this is a Children of Watchmen.
It's a Children of Watchmen thing, but it's like the optimistic version. It's like the good one. It's like the Astroboy child.
Not all Children of Watchmen have to be completely pessimistic. Like, it's, sure, this is gritty and grounded or whatever, which kind of aligns it with Watchmen, but there's lots of gritty and grounded comics that I would say are not like Watchmen. I think more its mood, its style. We didn't even talk about how this is like, it's built on a grid, which kind of gets subverted every once in a while, but it's like, I love how this reads. It reads so sharp.
Yeah. This would be a nice one to have in person. Yeah. That would be a nice one to physically hold. I would like that. Maybe I'll go look at my bookstores, see what they got. It's only 8 volumes. It's only 8 volumes. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, no. No, I had to slurp these up right away. Once they announced the anime, they announced that they would be reprinting this in English, and I bought them up real quick because I was like,
nice.
This has gone out of print before. I'm not going to let it happen again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe I'll be able to find them somewhere. Maybe they'll show up at my local Value Village. Who knows? I can be hopeful.
Entirely possible.
I can be optimistic. Yeah. Question: did reading this manga change your opinions on AI?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm killing Terminator when push comes to shove.
Yeah. Because this is a work of fiction. They're making up whatever they want about AI. They are making you care about these characters in real life. No, do not care.
Robots.
Do not care about the human AI. Do not care about the human police AI, man.
No. And likewise goes for, here's what I will say about AI and people who think AI is real. It's not. It's never going to be real. It is a simulation. Even if they were to copy all the data on my brain and store it on a computer and say that was me and I died, that's not me. I'm telling you right now, unplug it.
Unplug it.
Kill it with hammers. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not real. We are all cyberpunks. We are all real. AI is not.
Yeah. So the soul does not exist within the brain then?
Hell no. Hell no.
Cool. This sounds like a fun conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to have Catholic hang-ups tell you that's not the case.
Very fun. Nice. So yeah, Pluto good, AI bad. Would you recommend this one? I think we can unambiguously say yes.
Yes.
Go read this.
And if additional homework, you should read The Greatest Robot in the Earth. It's a lot of fun. It's good.
Yeah. Also, Jack, you should go read the other Urasawa work because they're good. And
I will finish Monster one day for sure.
Please finish Monster. It's great.
Yeah. I hear 20th Century Boys is good, and I hear Billy Bat is also very good.
Yeah, I haven't read that one. I probably should. I'll add that to my list. Add to my list, and in 3 years, you'll talk about it on the podcast, and I'll be like, excellent!
Thanks for listening. You can find me, Jack Stewartson, on Bluesky and Pinksky at Phantom Power Press, spelt with an F.
And you can find me, Diane, on Instagram at @1littlegremlin. That's _little_gremlin.
You can follow the show on Blue Sky at panelpalspodcast. All of our links are in the show notes. If you like the show, please rate and review on your podcast provider of choice. Panel Pals is a Jack Stewartson, Diane Hitchings co-production with editing by Jack Stewartson. Our musical theme is found by Stemchamp.